Welcome to the Man in the Room channel, where we unlock the doors to the world's most intriguing mysteries, hidden histories, and spine-tingling tales from the shadows. I'm your host, diving deep into the unknown from this cozy corner of this old, distinguished library. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and join our community of curious explorers. Today, we're stepping into the eerie world of one of America's most infamous haunted hotspots, the 1886 Crescent Hotel in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. Known far and wide as America's most haunted hotel, this Victorian gem has a history soaked in luxury, tragedy, deception, and countless reports of paranormal activity. We'll explore its origins, the dark chapters that followed, and the ghostly encounters that continue to draw thrill seekers and skeptics alike. So, grab a cup of tea, dim the lights, and let's journey back to 1886. First, let's set the stage with some historical context. Eureka Springs, nestled in the Ozark Mountains of Arkansas, burst onto the scene in the late 19th century as a health resort town. The area was famed for its natural springs, over 60 of them bubbling up from the earth, believed to possess miraculous healing properties. People flocked from across the country seeking cures for ailments ranging from rheumatism to more severe illnesses. It was in this booming era of health tourism that the Crescent Hotel was conceived. The Crescent Hotel's story begins with a partnership between the Frisco Railroad and a group of investors, including former Arkansas Governor Powell Clayton.
They envisioned a grand resort that would cater to the wealthy elite, capitalizing on the spring's allure.
Construction began in 1884, employing hundreds of workers. Many were Irish stonemasons, skilled in crafting this massive limestone structure.
Careful with that block. Aye, it's settling well.
The building rose atop West Mountain, overlooking the town like a sentinel. By the time it opened on May 20th, 1886, the Crescent Hotel was a marvel of Victorian architecture. 5 stories tall, with 78 rooms, a grand ballroom, stables for 100 horses, and amenities like electric lights, hydraulic elevators, and even a rooftop observatory.
But even in those early days, tragedy struck, planting the seeds for what would become a legacy of hauntings.
During construction, one of the Irish stonemasons, a man often referred to in lore as Michael, plummeted to his death from the 4th floor.
He fell into the area that would later become Room 218. Reports vary. Some say he slipped while laying stones. Others suggest a workplace accident involving scaffolding.
Regardless, his untimely demise marked the hotel's first brush with mortality. Little did anyone know, this event would echo through the decades, with Room 218 becoming the epicenter of paranormal activity.
For its first 15 years, the 1884 Crescent Hotel thrived as a luxury destination. Guests included luminaries like politicians, industrialists, and socialites. The hotel boasted tennis courts, croquet lawns, and a swimming pool fed by the springs. Menus featured gourmet fare, and evenings were filled with orchestral music and dancing in the Crystal Ballroom. However, by the early 1900s, the health fad began to wane. People realized the springs weren't the panacea they'd hoped for, and visitor numbers dwindled. The hotel struggled through off-seasons, leading to a pivotal shift in 1908. Enter the next chapter, the Crescent College and Conservatory for Young Women. From 1908 to 1924, the building transformed into an educational institution, housing and teaching young ladies in music,
art, and domestic sciences. It was a respectable era, but not without its own sorrows. One poignant story from this time involves a young woman student, said to be around 17 years old, who reportedly fell or perhaps jumped from a balcony in despair over a broken romance. Her spirit is sometimes linked to sightings of a woman in white wandering the halls or appearing in windows. Skeptics point out that records from the conservatory era are sparse, and this tale might be a blend of fact and folklore, amplified by later ghost hunters. By the 1920s, the college closed due to financial woes, and the building sat dormant during winters, only opening as a summer resort. Then came the Great Depression, exacerbating the decline. In 1930, the Crescent found a new, albeit sinister, purpose under the ownership of Norman Baker. Norman Baker, a figure who embodies the dark underbelly of American quackery.
Behold, my elixir will cure all, no more pain! These miracles will make me rich beyond measure!
Born in 1882 in Muscatine, Iowa, Baker was a charismatic showman with no formal medical training. He started as a vaudeville performer, then pivoted to radio, founding KTNT, Know the Naked Truth, in Iowa, where he broadcasted anti-medical establishment rants. Baker claimed to have invented cures for various diseases, including cancer, using dubious methods like injecting patients with formulas containing watermelon seeds, carbolic acid, and other ineffective substances. In 1937, after fleeing legal troubles in Iowa and Mexico, Baker purchased the Crescent Hotel for $40,000 and rechristened it the Baker Cancer Hospital. In 1937, Norman Baker marketed the Crescent Hotel as a miracle cure.
Our treatment is a proven cure. You will see results.
This is our last hope.
But it was a cruel lie, preying on their desperation. For fees as high as $500 per month, a fortune in Depression-era dollars, patients endured treatments that involved painful injections, bizarre diets, and no actual medical care. Baker's operation was a scam. He wasn't a doctor, and his cures often hastened death. Estimates suggest hundreds died under his care between 1937 and 1940, their bodies sometimes hidden in the basement morgue to avoid scrutiny. The morgue itself is a chilling relic. Baker performed autopsies there, allegedly to prove his treatments worked, but really to dissect bodies in search of hidden cancers he claimed to have missed. When authorities finally raided the place in 1940, they found jars of preserved organs and tissues, some still on display today in the hotel's museum. Baker was arrested for mail fraud, served 4 years in prison, and died in 1958. But his legacy lingers, literally, as many believe his spirit and those of his victims haunt the premises. Post-Baker, the hotel changed hands several times, falling into disrepair before a revival in the 1960s and 70s. In 1997, Marty and Elise Roenick bought it, restoring its Victorian splendor while embracing its haunted reputation. They hired mediums to investigate, and since then, the Crescent has hosted ghost tours, paranormal conventions, and TV shows like Ghost Hunters and Ghost Adventures.
I'm getting a strong reading in this hallway.
It's now a member of Historic Hotels of America, blending luxury stays with eerie experiences. Now, let's delve into the paranormal heart of the story, Crescent Hotel ghosts themselves. We'll explore these from multiple angles: historical ties, eyewitness accounts, scientific explanations, and cultural implications. Remember, while some dismiss these as hoaxes or misperceptions, others swear by their authenticity, backed by EVPs, electronic voice phenomena, thermal imaging, and personal encounters. Starting with the most famous, Michael in room 218. As mentioned, he's tied to the construction worker's death.
Lie down!
Guests report poltergeist activity, objects moving, doors slamming shut and locking, cries echoing from the ceiling as if someone is falling. One nuance: not all experiences are malevolent. Some describe a playful energy, like a stonemason still working on the room. TV crews have captured orbs and cold spots.
Did you see that? A glowing orb!
Yes, and I'm getting a cold reading here.
Whoa, it's moving! Get the shot!
Skeptics suggest structural settling or drafts explain the sounds, but believers point to consistent reports over decades. Implications? What was that?
It's here. Almost.
If real, it suggests traumatic deaths can imprint energy on a location, a concept in parapsychology called residual hauntings. Then there's Theodora, often seen in room 414 or the hallways. She's believed to be a nurse from Baker's era, dressed in white, with a stern demeanor. Guests report her tidying rooms, folding clothes, or shushing noisy visitors. One story, a couple awoke to find their suitcase unpacked, items neatly arranged. Another angle, historical records show Baker employed nurses, some of whom may have died on site from overwork or illness. Nuances include variations. Sometimes she's helpful, other times sorrowful, perhaps mourning lost patients. In a time when nursing was grueling, her spirit might represent unfulfilled duty. The Crystal Dining Room, now the Crystal Ballroom, hosts Victorian-era spirits. Apparitions in period attire dance when the room is empty, or a man waits by the window for a beautiful woman. Employees have found Christmas trees relocated overnight, menus scattered, or chairs arranged in circles. A waitress once saw a wedding couple in the mirror who vanished upon eye contact. She quit soon after. From a psychological perspective, these could be hallucinations from fatigue, but multiple witnesses over years suggest otherwise. Implications: these intelligent hauntings interact, responding to the living, unlike residuals. Down in the basement morgue, now part of the ghost tour, lies The Ghost in the Morgue, described as a full-bodied apparition of a man in a suit, possibly Baker himself or a patient. Visitors feel watched, hear footsteps, or see shadows. In 2019, during renovations, workers unearthed Baker's midden, a cache of bottles, jars with specimens, and medical artifacts buried nearby. This discovery amplified activity, with EVPs capturing voices saying, "Help me," or "Liar." Skeptics attribute this to suggestion. The tour primes visitors for scares, but paranormal investigators using EMF meters detect spikes, hinting at electromagnetic anomalies. These anomalies suggest the presence of unseen entities. Cancer patients moaning in former hospital rooms, like room 419, where a woman in a nightgown appears at bedsides. Even the gardens host the lady in the Victorian dress, strolling paths at dusk. Many hauntings could stem from the building's age. Creaky floors, old plumbing causing sounds. The power of suggestion is huge. Knowing the history, visitors interpret normal events as paranormal. Yet, tools like spirit boxes yield coherent responses, and photos show unexplained figures. Culturally, the hotel's embrace of its haunted status boosts tourism. Eureka Springs thrives on it, with annual festivals like the Eureka Springs Paranormal Weekend. From a historical nuance, the Crescent reflects America's Gilded Age excesses, quack medicine scandals, and evolving views on death. It raises questions about ethics in healthcare, the vulnerability of the ill, and how society remembers tragedy. Edge cases. Not all encounters are scary. Some guests feel comforted, like protected by benevolent spirits. Personal stories abound. One Reddit user recounted being chased by a shadow in the halls. A TripAdvisor review describes a child seeing a nice lady who vanished. TV episodes capture doors opening unaided, voices on tape. In conclusion, the 1886 Crescent Hotel isn't just a building, it's a tapestry of human experience. from joy to despair. Whether you're a believer or skeptic, its stories captivate, reminding us of life's fragility. If this tale chilled or intrigued you, like this video, subscribe for more mysteries from the Man in the Room channel. Hit the bell for notifications. Share your own ghost stories in the comments. Have you visited the Crescent? Until next time, keep exploring the unknown. Good night from the library.